Hello. So, sequel to my initial post about lessons from Joseph's reconciliation with his brothers, another salient point that I think stood out to me was that when he met his brothers for the second time after the old slavery saga, the first thing he did was to hide his identity. Now, how does that relate with God's arrangement? Now, you would remember that in the beginning of the creation story, Project Adam failed because one, Adam started as an adult. He didn't grow into greatness for him to have been equipped enough for that glory. Number two, which is what is similar to what I want to say right now, is that the glory on Adam was not hidden. It was too obvious. It was so obvious that the devil knew that the project Adam was God's way of reconnecting back to physicality, because God is a spirit. He can't walk with the physical world, and he needed a conduit pipe, so to say. But the glory was too obvious. So the devil came, tempted them, and took the glory away, which was why he said during the temptation of Jesus that the glory of this world has been delivered to me. So that was the same thing that happened in the story of Joseph. You know, at the beginning of Joseph's story, he was flaunting his coat of many colors. He was robbing, you know, the fact that he had dreams on everyone's faces. He told all his brothers about his dreams. But now he has learned his lessons. The first thing he did was to hide his identity. At least let me know if these people still have good intentions, or if they are still as wicked and cruel as they were. You know, the same thing happened with the event of the birth of Jesus. The Pharisees expected a pageantry arrival of a Messiah, probably adorned in gold and descending from heaven upon Mount Sinai. That was the expectation, but God has learned the lesson this time around to cover up the essential. See, cover up the essential. The problem with a lot of us is that too much of our lives is just out there. You see people, because I don't know who made it a rule that the moment probably you get married, or you give birth to a child, or you buy a house, or you buy a car, you must upload it on your status or social media. I don't know who made that a stereotype law. I mean, any small thing for some people, it's out there. Their life is no longer private. And I think the major reason why a lot of people who do these things do it is because they are trying to prove a point to some set of people that they are doing fine, or they are pretending to do fine. They just simply have they're just simply proving a point to some people. Imagine having to prove a point to someone who doesn't even like you in the first place. I mean, how unreasonable can that be? Anyways, let's even put that aside. So, like I said, God decided to disguise the birth of Jesus. So, this is a cue for us that our lives, some of the things, see, whatever, don't even expose at all. Because ideally, I would have said, before you speak out about anything, let it marinate first. Let it marinate. The reason why a lot of us can't touch glory, can't touch manifestation, is because we expose too much too early. We expose too much too early. You know, We tend to, something that is still burdened, cover it up, cover it up, let it marinate. Wisdom is profitable to direct. It's not, nobody should have the luxury of knowing 100% of you. Nobody should have that luxury. Nobody. Nobody should have that luxury. It does not mean you're not transparent. Like I said, wisdom is profitable to direct. And definitely, you relate with people, you give people information based on the aspect of your life that you connect with them with. For instance, your colleague in office should do, if the person is no more than a colleague, should not know more than what has to do with official stuff, official part of your life. So the moment you start publicizing every single thing, you're exposing yourself to danger. You're exposing yourself. So remember, nobody should have the luxury of knowing 100%. Even Jesus knew boundaries. I mean, there was a 12, yes. In the midst of the 12, there is a 6. Now, in the midst of that 6, there is a 3. Then in the midst of the 3, there is 1. Even Jesus drew boundaries. On the Mount of Transfiguration, he told Peter, what you saw here today, do not tell anyone. Do not mention it. Don't. Whereas whenever he performs miracle, he tells the recipients, go and tell, go and tell the people what has happened to you. So you see that life is very, very circumstantial. There are some things that has to be covered up, and there are some things that you have to bear. You bear it completely. So part of those things that has to be covered up are, great, the destiny you carry, your journey to destiny, your course through life, your achievements. These things have to be very private. It has to be. And I pray that God gives us the wisdom to be able, you know, that will direct us in such a way that we will not be the cause of our own doom and downfall. I was listening to a podcast this morning, and the preacher was saying that, so basically, some people see themselves in the dream naked. In fact, some naked in the marketplace. So it could be that severe. And a lot of people were trying to give an interpretation to that dream, that it's possibly because the interpretation a lot of people gave to that dream is that the person who has that kind of dream will be exposed, and the person will be ridiculed or probably subjected to shame due to one event or the other. But the podcaster went ahead and said, have we looked at it from another perspective, that it could mean that God is trying to tell you that you are exposing too much of yourself to the people around you, that you have no reservation, that you are too naked. And of course, I actually swallowed his thought. I reasoned with him. It could be that. So for instance, for those of you, especially, let's say for instance, parents, you know the circumstances surrounding the birth of some of your children, for instance, and it's quite unique. And maybe consequentially, because of that uniqueness, you feel like this person carries something strange, something rare. But you have already told that story to most of your family members, exposing that child to danger. Not just that, For some of you, you probably may have been given prophecies just like Joseph, and then this prophecy, you've told everybody what God is going to do with your life. These are the things that God is showing us through the story so that we can checkmate what we say, how much we dish out. So, for each time you are about to expose anything, remember, is it capable of exposing you to danger? If it is, shelf it.